welcome back to the channel. And today I'd like to bring you a video. It is my summer wrap-up. So I go through every book that I read in the summer and do them in the order that I read them. I'm going to do things a little bit differently from now on. With my wrap-ups, I'm going to actually rank the books. So we'll start with the book that maybe I didn't enjoy the most or didn't hit as well, moving up to my book of the season, so my summer #1 book. So we'll start with the books that were between average and good, because I didn't have any below average or bad books this month. And we'll start with a short story from this, the big book of pulp crime fighters, and that is 1, 2, 3. This was quite a short story. It is 20,000 words or something like that. So it was a bit rushed, a bit muddled. It probably tried to do a little bit too much in the time that it had, so it didn't quite hit as well for me, but it was at least average. Going on from there, we have a book from Roger's Cheap Old Book Club, part of June on the Range. This was The Lone Star Ranger, just shy of a 3-star maybe, or about a 3-star read. It was a fix-up novel, and I found that half of the book didn't work quite as well as the other half, so just missed out there from the next category up, which I would say are the good to very good section. We had The Last Man from Roger's Cheap Old Book Club. This is a classic, but maybe a touch dry. With all of these books, if you want to learn more, I do have reviews of all of these on the channel already. Next up was a book for Garb August, Mass Effect. This was Revelation, this one, a prequel to the Mass Effect world. Good fun novel. Next best was Gladiator by Philip Wiley, a very influential novel, and this was definitely a lot of fun. It's got a lot of crazy ideas, there's a lot of crazy set pieces in this. Check out the review, it's quite a good one. Then, June on the Range again, Quick and the Dead by Louis L'Amour. Nice little paperback here. This book surprised me, but it definitely gave me everything I wanted from a Western for June on the Range. So, Quick and the Dead by Louis L'Amour. Then the final in this category of good to very good is a new release, and it's this here, Leading the Rebellion, which is actually a biography of sorts. Don't do a lot of new releases, don't do a lot of biographies, but check out the review. This was a good surprise. Let's move on to the real heavy hitters now. So very good to great, Brandon Sanderson, book 2 in the Mistborn trilogy, The Well of Ascension. So this book, it suffered a little bit from middle book syndrome, I think, but it was still a good book. It was still a very good book. Certainly kept me interested in Mistborn. Next up was another book in a series, this time The Shadow Rises, Wheel of Time. If I can get it to sit nicely. Could these books been, book of the year contenders? Maybe in other circumstances, but unfortunately they were a little let down in these cases. Next up would be The Witcher, Blood of Elves. Blood of Elves gets a bad rap on Booktube, but I found that it was pretty consistent with the quality of the first 2 short story collections in the Witcher universe. So book 3 in The Witcher, Blood of Elves, very highly rated as far as our summer reading goes. And final in this category of very good to great is Sharp's Fortress, the 3rd book in the Sharp universe there. It's bombastic, I would say, is the way I would describe this. Again, review for this up on the channel as well. Sharp doesn't do great on the channel, but I wish it did, because these books are crazy fun. So that leaves us with just the top 3 to go. The top 3 books, the ones that really vied for the title of Book of the Summer for me, at number 3 was The Prophet of Idan. This was better than the first book in the series, which is a book I enjoyed very much and was, quite high up there in the spring. So Prophet of Idan definitely deserves its spot at number 3 for the summer. Number 2, just edging out Prophet of Idan, was the 3rd book in the Favourite of the Fallen, Ruin by John Gwynne. Been loving my time with Ruin. Fantastic book, very chunky again. But book of the summer undoubtedly goes to a masterpiece in Dune by Frank Herbert. Really excellent from page one. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Cannot wait to get the review out for this one. It was just an excellent book. Excellent. Yeah, so Dune, the book of the summer. Yeah, check out the review on the channel. Right, that's all of my summer reads. A fantastic season because there was no bad books. There wasn't even a below average book this season. I'm trying to push those kind of average ratings for the books I'm reading well up past the 4-star kind of mark. Don't want to read any bad books. Don't want to read any below average books. I'm trying to avoid them like the plague. Even with Garb August, as Roy Reeds always says, Garb August doesn't have to be about bad books, only trashy books. So I'm trying to avoid bad books like the plague. As you can see, some very good reads. I hope you check out Prophet Be Dan, Ruin, and Dune. If you don't have time to check out any of the others in the coming years, those three are the top 3 for the summer.